Welcome, welcome. It's your favorite uncle, Tinfoil Tio. The hat's on, the theories are loaded, and this ride is brought to you by Shroomies on the XRPL.
To this gentleman, the Secretary has approved our plans, confirming you, Admiral Byrd, as the officer in charge of the expedition, and you, Admiral Cruzen, as the task force commander. And we get everything we need. That makes Operation Highjump the greatest polar expedition in history.
Admiral Richard E. Byrd was one of the most decorated explorers in American history. A naval officer, an aviation pioneer, and the face of America's great polar expeditions. Born in 1888, Byrd graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy and quickly rose through the ranks. During World War I, he earned the Navy Cross for his skill in aviation, becoming one of the Navy's top navigators at a time when flight itself was still new. In 1926, Byrd became a national hero when he and his pilot, Floyd Bennett, announced they had flown over the North Pole. The achievement earned him the Medal of Honor, America's highest award. He followed that triumph with another. In 1929, he completed the first flight over the South Pole, cementing his status as one of the world's greatest aviators. Throughout the 1930s, Byrd returned to Antarctica multiple times, leading expeditions that built bases, mapped uncharted regions, and pushed the limits of human endurance. On one mission in 1934, he nearly lost his life after spending 5 months alone at a remote weather station, an ordeal that only deepened his legend. By the end of World War II, Byrd was far more than an explorer. He was a seasoned military leader with the Medal of Honor, the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Navy Distinguished Service Medal, and decorations from countries around the world. He had the respect of presidents, generals, and scientists alike. That reputation made him the natural choice in 1946 to command Operation Highjump, the largest Antarctic expedition ever attempted. Over 4,000 men, 13 ships, and more than 30 aircraft sailed south in what looked less like a scientific venture and more like a wartime deployment. The official mission was to train troops, test equipment in extreme cold, and map the continent. But its scale raised questions even then. What was America really preparing for in Antarctica? Yet, despite its massive resources and ambitious goals, Operation Highjump came to an abrupt end. Planned for 6 months, the expedition was cut short after just two. The Navy's official explanation pointed to severe weather, supply problems, equipment failures, and the tragic crash of the George I aircraft, which killed 3 men. But it was what happened next that turned high jump into one of the most enduring mysteries of the modern age. On his way home, Admiral Byrd stopped in Chile. There, in an interview with the newspaper El Mercurio, he made a startling remark that the United States must prepare to defend itself against enemy aircraft capable of flying from pole to pole at incredible speeds. It was a strange warning from a man who had built his life on credibility and precision. Byrd was no showman, no conspiracy theorist. He was one of the most respected officers in the Navy. What we know for certain is this: Operation High Jump did end early, and Admiral Byrd did make those remarks in Chile. The question lingers: why did one of the most decorated explorers in American history, a man who had never made extraordinary claims before, suddenly warn of an enemy that could cross the globe at impossible speeds? Whatever he meant, Admiral Byrd left us with a mystery frozen in Antarctica, a riddle between ice, silence, and the unknown.
He leans forward in amazement. His eyes have caught a sudden and unbelievable change in scenery. The universal white is turned to chocolate brown, dotted with blue. A cameraman goes into action. 300 square miles of land without snow. Land that might be in New Mexico or Arizona. Pictures alone will prove Bunger has discovered a warm oasis in the shadow of the pole. It is for such supreme moments as this that men brave the hardships of exploration. The astounding, undreamed of fact is that they are over a chain of warm water lakes whose shores, except for small patches, are free of ice and snow. Commander Bunger circles the largest lake in sight, 5 miles long. He comes in to make a landing. Water temperatures must be recorded. Samples taken. He finds the water fresh, the temperature 38 degrees Fahrenheit. On the shores are vast deposits of coal, and of minerals of the utmost importance to civilization.